Demonstration 1.1, Summation Notation. A set of scores consists of the following values: 7, 3, 9, 5, and 4. For these scores, we're going to compute each of the following. Before we do so, let's review the order of operations. Often, a formula or a mathematical expression will involve several different arithmetic operations, such as adding, multiplying, squaring, and so on. When you encounter these situations, you must perform the different operations in the correct sequence. The acronym PEMDAS helps us remember that order. So first, parentheses. Any calculation contained within parentheses is done first. Exponents. Squaring or raising to other exponents is done second. Multiplying, divide. Multiplying and dividing is done third. A series of multiplication and or division operations should be done in order from left to right. Add, subtract. Adding and or subtracting is done fourth. Now that we have reviewed the order of operations, let's go back to our example. Our first task is to take the sum of x. So that simply requires that we take all our x values and sum them. So we have 7, 3, 9, 5, and 4. So we're calculating the sum of x. So we have 7 plus 3, 10 plus 9, 19, plus 5, 24, plus 4 more, and we get the sum of x equal to 28. Next, we're going to compute sum of x squared. And note that the sum of x are in parentheses. So again, we're going to address that first. So again, our values of x are 7, 3, 9, 5, and 4. And we know the summation of x is equal to 28. And now we want to calculate sum of x in parentheses squared. So let's just replace variables. So we know the sum of x is equal to 28. And now we're going to square that to get our final answer. So in your calculator, go ahead and do this with me. 28 squared is equal to 784. Next, we're going to take the sum of x squared and note the difference between the one that we just completed and this one. So here we're going to, order of operation indicates we must attend to the exponents first before we do the summation. So I'm going to create a little table here to keep things really organized. So our values are 7, 3, 9, 5, and 4. And we're not going to take the summation of x. First, what we need to do is square all of our x values, and then we'll take the summation of all x values that have been squared. So 7 squared is 49, 3 squared is 9, 9 squared is 81, 5 squared 25, and 4 squared 16. And now if we take the sum of all scores that have been squared, so in our calculators we're going to enter 49 plus 9 plus 81 plus 25 plus 16. And we get an answer equal to 180. So again, don't mix these two up. It's very common for students to mix these two mathematical operations together. Just rely on your knowledge of order of operation to ensure that you are performing these mathematical expressions in order to get the correct answer. Next, we're going to take the sum of x plus 5. Again, order of operation, if we have something, we move left to right, and so left to right says what we're going to do first is take the sum of x and then add 5. It's not telling us to add 5 to every score. That would require parentheses around the x plus 5. Here again, from left to right, we would attend to the sum of x first and then add 5 to the total. So again, as we've done 2 previous times, our scores are 7, 3, 9, 5, and 4. And the sum of x, we know now, is equal to 28. And therefore, the sum of x plus 5 would equal, if we replace variables, 28 plus 5 gives us an answer of, in our calculators, 33, or in your head, is equal to 33. And finally, we have the sum of x minus 2. Again, order of operations says we're going to attend to what's in the parentheses first, and then the addition next. So let's set up our table, our x values. Our x values are equal to 7, 3, 9, 5, and 4. And this column will represent x minus 2. So we take our x value of 7, we subtract 2, and we get 5. We have an x value of 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. 9 minus 2, we get 7. 5 minus 2, 3. And 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. So now if we want to solve for sum of x minus 2, we would simply add these values because we've already attended to what was in the parentheses, and now we're taking the summation of those values. So we would add 5 plus 1 plus 7 plus 3 plus 2, and we get a total it is equal to 18. And that concludes demonstration 1.1 for Unit 1, the summation notation.